Mic check.
Welcome to the first Occupy Port Townsend General Assembly. General Assembly is a beautiful thing.
So tell you what, yeah, we're going to do this in a pretty specific way. So if you could just read 3 or 4 words out and we'll reflect them back.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Welcome to the first
Welcome to the first
Occupy Port Townsend General Assembly.
Occupy Port Townsend General Assembly.
General Assembly is a beautiful thing.
General Assembly is a beautiful thing.
And we hope you'll stick with us
And we hope you'll stick with us
and help us make it
and help us make it
a powerful and positive force in our community.
a powerful and positive force in our community.
This is the human microphone.
This is the human microphone.
The human microphone is being used
The human microphone is being used
in occupied movement groups all over the world.
in occupied movement groups all over the world.
It is an effective tool
It is an effective tool
to make sure all people present
to make sure all people present
can hear what is being spoken.
can hear what is being spoken.
When no sound system is available,
When no sound system is available,
it has been successfully used in groups
it has been successfully used in groups
of several thousand people.
of several thousand people.
But guess what?
But guess what?
Today we have a sound system.
Today we have a sound system.
So we can use that
So we can use that
if you like.
if you like.
Thank you and once again welcome.
Thank you and once again welcome.
Peter Piper had a dick of it. No, I'll stop it.
All right. So anyone have a particular request to use the sound system? Anybody object if we use our voices? Can you hear us in the back very well? Okay, we have it. We can turn it on and use it if someone is soft-spoken or would like to, so feel free to ask for it if you feel like you need it. Otherwise, we'll just stand up and speak naturally, and hopefully we can. Please let us know if you're having trouble hearing anybody.
So we don't have to repeat what you just said.
Unless we want to do that for the next couple hours. But it's worth noting that that is how it has been being done for the last few months.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is a General Assembly. The meeting time for General Assemblies and any working groups, and actually minutes and video of this are going to be available on occupyporttownsend.org. We are live streaming this right now. So if you are sitting right sort of around here, you are on camera, and we have, I think, at least 4 people watching.
We don't have any audio on camera.
What?
There's no audio.
Huh.
Where's that person?
You gotta use the mic to get on camera, don't you?
I just thought it should be clarified that it's a group process.
Oh, yeah.
It was open in coming up with this meeting.
Absolutely. And did you?
Yeah, is this process unique to Port Townsend, or is it universal, or a bit of each?
So, I have a 7-slide little PowerPoint that really answers that question. It kind of puts this in the global context. Are you guys okay? Just we'll go over that, showing that. All right. Any objections? It's going to be pretty brief. All right. So you have to actually turn and look on that screen to see it. I would love it if you did. If you
I think if you sit over here, you can see it, and you just go stand over there.
Yeah, if you need to stand up or adjust to be able to see it. Okay, so this is a General Assembly. And this definition of a General Assembly came from Wikipedia. A General Assembly is just a gathering of people called to address issues of importance to participants. That's the basic definition. We're a gathering here to address issues of importance. So we're calling it the Occupy Port Townsend General Assembly. So that's in the context of the Occupy movement. The Occupy movement is defined again on Wikipedia as an international protest movement. And so what's that? A protest is an expression of objection by words or actions to create pressure on the world around us to change something. And a movement is a group action. So that's the basic, go ahead, thanks. So a movement, again, is a group action to change something. And the Occupy movement, I think I put this definition together somehow, is a leaderless, nonviolent group action to change our world, to improve a set of conditions that they're saying are no longer tolerable. And this is basically, I'm not speaking for the movement, this is my understanding and collaborating with Alex, trying to sum up what the Occupy movement is really responding to. The biggest one that seems to all across these Occupy movements across the world, especially across the US, is the ineffectiveness of our government to effect change on all sorts of issues due to money in politics, money controlling and influencing our democratic institutions, abuse and diversion of government powers to the benefit of wealthy corporations and that wealthy 1%, which people talk about. And the consolidation of power in our country, no longer in the people, but too much power in the hands of the few. Is that, I'm sure a lot of people, does that feel like a good summation of what it seems people are upset about in the Occupy movement, or maybe what you're hearing? Okay.
And the relevant phrase from the original Occupy Wall Street website was, "We vow to end the money corruption of our democracy." So that's sort of the essential.
Yeah. Yeah, money in politics seems to be really at the base, the unifying base. And then some of the specific things that people are complaining about, unemployment, lack of health care, lack of social services, lack of education, loss of money, savings in home and retirement, and then concerns about the environment, homelessness, war, those kind of all pile on top, I think, in my view, on the ineffectiveness of our government to help us with all these things. So that's kind of the context for the Occupy movement. Okay. So this is a really critical piece. It's the Occupy movement, and somehow this started in the Occupy Wall Street, Zuccotti Park. They are using direct democracy. And that's what's meant by leaderless movement. Or some people like to say leaderful. It means everyone is a leader, everyone in this room. Go ahead and go.
And also, if I could say that it helps to think of leadership as simply taking initiative. It does not mean having power over anyone or taking control of anything. It's simply taking initiative and making a proposal, saying, "I know, let's try this," and work with the group to see about that.
And to me, this is what is making this movement so powerful, that it's founded on direct democracy. Have you ever left a meeting, or a political meeting, or any sort of meeting, and you felt unheard, unvalued, frustrated with how the meeting went, and probably uninterested in coming back to that meeting? Anyone ever felt that way? So it's very common. The tools of direct democracy are made to do the best you can to make everyone have the opportunity to be heard, to feel valued, to feel successful, like you're making some progress, and to feel enthusiastic about coming back. So that's the gist of direct democracy, and hopefully you'll get a good taste of that today. And it's basically, this is just showing, it's moving from representative democracy, where we all elect a handful of people and put them in a room and let them argue, to we're all in the room and we're all being heard and really actively participating. So, and this is a little heads up, this is a little warning. Direct democracy will not be fast. It's not going to be fast. It's not going to be easy, and it's not always going to be comfortable. It's not always going to result in everyone agreeing with you, and it's not always going to result in perfect decisions. Occasionally, decisions are made that you're not going to feel great about. But what it will be is it will work really hard to make sure you have a chance to be heard. It'll really help us find our common threads in a powerful way. It will really promote respectful, positive, constructive dialogue. It'll help us move forward. It'll be a little slow, especially probably at first, but we will move forward. We'll make progress. It will break down because we're going to be learning as we go. And the process is ours. It's going to evolve as we work together to improve it. But most of all, I believe it is the most unstoppable force. When we get there, when everyone in this room, everyone in this town, hopefully, gets together and they find their common thread and push, you cannot stop that. So I think it's just an unstoppable force for change once we get good at it. Okay, so that's the basic context. So now we're gonna step into it. Are you guys ready and willing to participate in this gathering? And we're gonna work hard to try to work towards demanding real substantive change to issues of importance while adhering to this direct democracy process. Yeah? All right. Thank you. Great. So that's a little presentation. We could actually turn that projector off now.
Thanks for watching.
That's great.
Okay, so now we're going to start to get a sense of what those common threads are, and we are going to do our open mic. So if you are ready and you are burning to take 30 seconds to a minute to say what you have to say, why you're here, we do have, when we break out into small groups, these are the questions we think we're going to be asking people, and that's, who are you? What is really touching you in this Occupy movement? What changes are you really eager to see? And what are the actions that you are ready to take responsibility for to make that happen? This will be in the small group discussion. You could, if you want to answer one of these right now in our open mic break, if you have something else to say, you can say that. But the stack is now open. Just put your hand up if you have something that you'd like to say.
I'm going to take about 3 or 4 hands at a time, and then I'll just ask you to once those 3 or 4 people that I've called on have spoken, then once their hands are down, then I'll get another 3 or 4. It's just going to help me be able to keep track of everybody. So,
all right, hands up high if you want to be on stack.
Okay.
I was surprised to see on the list that of concerns that there wasn't anything about our rights being taken away. I think that's my worst nightmare right now.
The gentleman right there in the blue.
I'm concerned about helping people prepare for Fukushima aftermath issues. I'm also very excited that as a group we're struggling to explore cooperative and collective consciousness. I think that's the path to holding life on this planet. So thank you.
There was one, yep, the woman right behind it, and then we've got right back there, and then after those 2 people, then we'll get some more.
Yes, I was at Zuccotti Park in October, and I don't know how we spent some time talking to the people there. I was very impressed by the people there.
Louder.
And is that
In New York City. We could use the microphone. Yeah, we could make it real easy. Are we okay using the microphone?